What's up guys, today I'll be breaking down and reviewing the raid sniper rifle in Destiny called the Defiance of Yasmin. This weapon has a chance to drop in the Taken King raid, and I happen to have gotten my weapon on the drop from the Warpriest. Aesthetically, it looks like you're using a sniper rifle with bones attached to the side of it. And also, if you've played Halo before, it sounds a lot like the sniper rifle used in, say, Halo 1 and 2. The sound, the pshaw. That's a cool little tidbit of info. You can hear it when in the video. Statistically, when you get the weapon, it's going to start with 300 damage. Of course, you can infuse it higher. The fire rate's 26%, it has an impact rating of 22%, a range of 66%, a stability rating of 57, a reload percentage of 41, and a magazine size of 4. On preliminary look, it has the look of a sniper rifle that's very middle of the pack or slightly higher in terms of impact. It does absolutely everything quite well, but it might not be the best in any particular stat category. For a sniper rifle though, this isn't a bad thing. This isn't something to get worked up about. It means it will excel in nearly every circumstance, especially in the right player's hands. In terms of PvP damage output for just about all sniper rifles, well, all sniper rifles actually, it's one shot headshot and 2-shot body shots. That's key, remember that. With regard to the skill tree, all Defiance of Yasmins are the same because they're exotics. They all deal arc damage. You'll have an always active perk called Will of Light, which increases damage to taken enemies, which will become very useful in, well, just about all scenarios, because many strikes have the Taken remix version, and many enemies in the raid are taken as well. You have 3 clear options in terms of ballistics. Linear Compensator, which produces more but more predictable recoil, as well as buff range and impact. Accurized Ballistics, which produces more range and impact, but also more recoil. And lastly, Field Choke, which does the exact same thing as Accurized Ballistics, and for that reason I like Linear Compensator the most. Because recoil increase isn't significant in general, but the fact that all of them are going to increase recoil, Linear Compensator making it more predictable, makes it easier to counter whatever recoil is added. That would be my choice. When breaking down the skill tree, the first important perk is called Cocoon, which automatically reloads the weapon from your reserves when the weapon is stowed away. This means if you switch to a primary or heavy after emptying 4 rounds out of the magazine, it will be reloaded for you when you switch back to it, providing you waited about 6+ seconds, which is not bad. So it means you can empty your sniper rifle, empty your primary, switch back, it will be reloaded for you. For maximizing DPS, especially in raid boss encounters, this helps an awful lot because you don't have to worry about losing an awful lot of DPS during reload times. The next 3 perks which you'll have a choice over are Hand Loaded, which increases range, which is already high enough. Lightweight, which increases agility or your character's speed. And lastly, Injection Mold, which increases stability, allowing for faster handling, but it does cut into max range. Of course, depending on your playstyle, you can make a case for any of these based on a particular encounter. But I primarily choose Injection Mold because the range hit is not as significant ones for the buffs that you get back from using it. The last perk of note is the only perk on the weapon that can differ, and you get 4 possible perks to drop for you. They're Perfectionist, which refunds the magazine if all shots are precisions. Firefly, which causes enemies to explode on precision kills. I happen to have gotten that as the role. Life Support, which causes you to regen health when getting a kill when you're low on health. And finally, Hot Swap, which increases accuracy when switching to this weapon. None are bad on their own, but I'd say Firefly is best for mobs, Perfectionist is best for bosses, especially raid bosses. With regard to my overall impressions, in PvE it's an extremely versatile sniper rifle that can be thrown into nearly any situation and you can have success with it. From strikes, especially with Firefly, to the raid bosses, especially if you have Perfectionist, this sniper rifle will hold its own in both fire rate and overall impact per shot. It hits that middle ground perfectly for balancing DPS per shot and overall fire rate. In PvP, building on that DPS versus fire rate dynamic, it can also excel quite nicely here as well. Compared to, say, the Black Spindle, which fires quite slowly, a follow-up shot after a miss or body shot is quite easy because of this quicker fire rate. It isn't quite to the speed of Kratos' Revenge, but it's also much faster than a lot of the higher impact Icebreaker or the Black Spindles. It will certainly give you no problems in the Crucible. So overall, this is a very balanced weapon that can excel just about anywhere, PvE and PvP. It's very balanced with little to no weaknesses, which make me think of no other weapon as a real definite substitute that you need to put in for this weapon. If you prefer something of a higher impact variety, that's fine, but this weapon certainly isn't going to slow you down. Have a good one, YouTube.